One of the biggest problems stopping some students from sounding more English is that they don't aspirate correctly. If you have this problem and want your accent to sound more English, you must learn how to aspirate. So today, we'll look at how to aspirate consonants. What do I mean by aspirate? Well, put simply, it's making sure you release the correct amount of air to make a sound. This is very important for unvoiced consonants. So today, we're looking at how to aspirate the unvoiced consonants p, t, ch, k, and how they can end up sounding like their voiced counterparts b, d, j, g. Let me show you what I mean. Take a look at this row of consonants on the phonemic chart. Here you can see that unvoiced and voiced consonants have been placed side by side. This shows that the only difference between each pair is that the first sound of each pair is unvoiced, with no sound from your vocal cords. And the second is voiced, meaning there is a sound from your vocal cords. However, if a sound is unvoiced, it needs a stronger force of breath or aspiration. If it's voiced, the sound needs less breath. Now let's look at what happens when we don't give the unvoiced consonant p enough air. Take the word pink. If I say it with less breath, it sounds like this. Bink, bink. Now listen when I say it with more breath. Pink. Can you hear the difference? I just can't make the p sound properly without enough breath. And because there's not enough breath, I compensate by using my vocal cords. And then p sounds more like a voiced b. Let's try this again with the word put. If I don't use enough air, it sounds like put and not put. Let's try a short sentence. I put my pink coat on. And not I put my pink coat on. Now you try it. I put my pink coat on. Now moving along the line here on the phonemic chart, the same problem can occur with the next pair of consonants, the unvoiced t and the voiced d. The t can sound like a d. For example, the word tea without enough air sounds like tea. Again, let's listen to a sentence. First pronouncing with my t's without enough air, and then pronouncing correctly. I'm going to town for a cup of tea and a piece of tart. Or, I'm going to town for a cup of tea and a piece of tart. So, aspiration is so important to get those unvoiced consonants right and make the tone of your speech sound more English. This method of correct aspiration also applies to the consonant pairs ch and j, k and g, and also these on the second line, f and v, th and th, s and z, sh and zh. Now the best way to get these sounds right is by repeating minimal pairs. Here are some for you to try for p and b. P, B, pace, bass, peat, beat, pile, bile. For t and d. To, do, tie, die, tent, dent, tuck, duck. For ch and j. chaw, jaw, chew, jew, cheer, jeer, choke, joke. For k and g. Came, game, cave, gave. Coast, ghost, crease, grease. Hope this helps. If there are any other consonants you would like help with, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, take a look at this playlist. Until next time, love and peace.